Good day, students. On this clip, we're going to be going over two examples on how to evaluate functions with operations, okay? So let's go ahead and write down the instructions for question one. So for number one, um, if f of x equals negative 6x squared minus 9x plus 9 and g of x equals 9x minus 5, find the value of 3 times f of 4 minus f of negative 3 times g of negative 4. Okay? All right, so what does this whole expression mean? Basically means that we'll evaluate f of 4, f of negative 3, and g of negative 4, and then plug it into this expression. All right, so let's start with the first one. What are we going to find first? We're going to find f of 4. Okay? This simply means we're going to substitute 4 into all the x's in f of x. So f of 4 is going to be negative 6 times 4 squared minus 9 times 4 plus 9. Okay? Evaluating this using the order of operations, we're going to have negative 6, 4 squared is 16, minus 9 times 4 is 36, so minus 36 plus 9. Okay, and then now we need to multiply these two. Negative 6 times 16, we have negative 96, and then minus 36 plus 9 um, is going to be negative 27. Actually, yes, negative 27. All right, so we're going to add these two. We're going to end up with negative 123. So that is the value of f of 4. Okay, so let's f of 4 equals negative 123. Now let's look for the next one, which is f of negative 3. All right, so plug that in. We're going to have negative 6 times negative 3 squared minus 9 times negative 3 plus 9. Okay, let's go ahead and evaluate this using the order of operations. We'll have negative 6 times 9 minus 9 times minus 3 is negative 27 plus 9. Okay, now multiply 6 and 9, we'll have 54, so we have negative 54. Um, Actually, minus 3 times minus 9 is plus 27. All right, and then plus 27 plus 9. Okay, we plug this in our calculator. Let's go ahead and do this with our calculators. We're going to have negative 54 plus 27 plus 9. Final answer is negative 18. So f of negative 3 is negative 18. All right, let's go ahead and look for the value of g of negative 4. G of negative 4. This simply means that anywhere we have x's in g, which is 9x minus 5, we're going to plug in negative 4. Okay, so we're going to have 9 times negative 4 minus 5. Okay, evaluating that, negative 9 times 4 is negative, 9 times negative 4 is negative 36, minus 5, final answer is negative 41. Okay, now that we have the value of the three functions evaluated at different points, now let's finish the problem off by pulling together our three results. Okay, so the question originally asked us to find um, or to find 3 times f of 4 minus f of negative 3 times g of negative 4. All right, so we're going to triple f of 4, which is negative 123, and then we're going to multiply minus the product of these two, which is negative 18 times negative 41. All right, let's have a calculator do this for us. So we're going to have uh, 3 times negative 123 minus negative 18 times 41. Actually, times negative 41. All right, and our final answer is negative 1107. So negative 1107 is the value of 3 times f of 4 minus f of negative 3 times g of negative 4. All right, now let's consider an example where we actually compose two functions and evaluate the composite at a point, okay? So for question number 2, we have the following. All right, so for number 2, um, let's consider the problem. Let r of x equals x squared minus 6 and s of x equals x to the third plus 3. Find r of s of 3, okay? We're going to do this using two different methods, and hopefully we should get the same result, all right? So for method 1, uh, we're going to find s of 3. We're going to evaluate an inner function, the input function at the point x equals 3, then uh, plug it into, then plug it into, and plug it into r of x, okay? All right, let's go ahead and do that. So we know s of x is x to the third plus 3. So what does s of 3 mean? S of 3 basically means you're plugging in 3 into x here. So we have 3 to the third plus 3, okay? And that gives us 27 plus 3, which equals 30. All right, now let's do the second part, which is to plug it into r of x. We're going to plug this result into r of x. We know that r of x is x squared minus 6. So r of 30, inputting 30 into this function, we're going to have 30 squared minus 6. Okay? All right, 30 squared is 900. 900 minus 6 is 894. All right, so there goes our result. Now let's use the second method, method 2. So in method 2, what we're going to do is we're going to find um, r of s of x, okay? Then evaluate it at x equals 3. All right, so we're going to compose the two functions first, and we're going to evaluate the value of the composed function at x equals 3. Okay, so let's go ahead and find r of s of x first again. So we want to find r of s of x. So the parent is r, the input function is x. So let's write down the parent function first. The parent function is x squared minus 6. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to evaluate it at s of x. Okay, so to get the parent function prepped for this input function, we'll clear out the parentheses here, equals, uh, when I replace this with parentheses, it has to be big enough to take in the value of the input function, which is x to the third plus 3, a cubic binomial, so make that parenthesis that big to take the two terms. All right, so s of x is what? What is s of x? Let's just put it on the side here so we don't get confused. S of x is x to the third plus 3, okay? So the name of the function goes here, the value goes on the right side. So our s of x is going to be x to the third plus 3, okay? All right, let's simplify this expression on the right. So it's going to be x to the third plus 3 times x to the third plus 3 minus 6, okay? And then what we'll do is we're going to follow this out, distribute this to that, and then distribute 3 to this and this. And our result is going to become x to the third times x to the third. You add the exponents, you get x to the sixth. X to the third times 3, you have 3x to the third. And then when we just done the first and the outer. Now when we do inner, uh, 3 times x to the third is 3x to the third. And then last, 3 times 3 is 9 minus 6. Okay? All right. Let's go ahead and simplify this by combining like terms. So x to the 6 is on its own. You can combine 3x to the third and 3x to the third to give us 6x to the third. And then positive 9 minus 6 is simply plus 3. Okay? So this is the value of r of s of x. We've accomplished the first part of method 2. Now what we're going to do next is evaluate this function at x equals 3. Okay? So now we're going to find r of s of 3. What does this mean? It just simply means that we're going to plug in 3 into this function right here. So we have 3 to the 6th plus 6 times 3 to the third plus 3. Okay? Alright, let's plug this into our calculator, see what our output value is. Hopefully it matches with method 1's result. Okay, so we're going to have parentheses 3 to the 6th power plus 6 times 3 to the third plus 3. Final answer is 894, which is excellent. That's exactly what we need. So this is equal to 894. So we're confident that our answer is correct because it matches with the result we got in method 1. All right, so there you have it.